Now, before we get started with this episode right here, let me give you episode 1 of season 6 of The Real Housewives of Potomac without context. What I want you to do, I just want you to take a look at this diagram here, and it sums up the entire episode, okay? It sums up the entire episode. So just take a look at it. Just take a look at it. Shout out to our friends over at BBF Bravo, okay? And I just want you guys to take a good look at this because it completely describes episode 1 without any context. Get into it. Think about that while we roll this good intro right here, okay? Skye Squad, we are back in the building and we are back in Potomac. Finally, it has happened to me. Okay. I'm super excited. I'm super duper excited because the Real Housewives of Potomac premiere was super duper lit. Okay. It was super lit. And I mean, listen, we got a supersized episode, so we got to talk supersized, okay? Shout out to everyone in the chatterization. Let me get into who's in the room real quick. Just drop your location down in the chatterization real quick. Come on now. I just want to see where you're watching from. Okay. I want to see where you're watching from. I see we got Philly in the place. St. Thomas in the building. Florida. I see you. Come on, Tennessee. Hey, Milwaukee. I see you guys as well. Aurora, Illinois. Hey, I see DC is up in the his EA. Madison, Wisconsin. I see you. Charlotte, Puerto Rico, New York. Everybody is in the building today, y'all, because we got to get into this new episode of Potomac. What in the hot box is going on up in here? Okay. Before we dive in, listen, when I saw this earlier today, let me tell you how it just tickled me to death. Okay. This sums up the episode without giving any context to anything. We have our life-size picture of one of our favorite moms in Potomac, Miss Dorothy. Okay. Then we also got this little math equation right here. Wonder what that's in reference to. And then we got what looks to be a car with some smokerization coming out of the sides, okay? And then we got the Sing Sing Correctional Facility in the his naive. Now listen, if you don't get it right now, trust me, by the end of this review, you definitely gonna get it because we're gonna touch on all those points. But before we dive head first into the episode, what I want to know from you is, as always, y'all know how we do it. We gotta rate the episode. On a scale of 1 to 10. We'll be rating this episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac season 6, episode 1. Okay. Now, I don't even know what the episode is called. I'm calling it What in the Hot Box is Going On. Okay. And I'm going to give it a 10. Okay. Miss Natalie, yes, we starting off the season with a 10. Come on, Gwendolyn. We giving it a 10, right? We giving it a 10. I see 10s. I see 9s. I see 9.5. I see y'all up in there. Y'all was feeling it last night. I see y'all was feeling it. Hey, come on now. Let's get these numbers on the board. Let's get them on the board, y'all. Let's get them on the board. I want to see them. Yes. Hey, come on, Bruce. Thank you for the super chat. Giving it a 20. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, this season premiere gave me everything that I needed. I feel like, honestly, after the season that we had with Real Housewives of Atlanta, which I still love, by the way, and then, we're getting near the end of the ride with Married to Medicine, and then looking at the seasons of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I love, okay? Beverly Hills is actually given this season. It's given somewhat what it needs to give, okay? In New York, I'm on the fence about it. I think it's some cast members missing. I feel like it's something missing from that show. But Potomac is hitting a home run right out the gate. We got 7 full-time housewives. We have a friend of who is appearing in episode 3. So we got 8 ladies on the board. That is a good number of ladies to have. And I feel like it gives you an opportunity to really mix some things up. And there was some dynamic shifts that we have to talk about within this episode. Hey, Marcella, thank you, boo. Hey, Karen is the GOAT. Okay. You better think twice before coming for Miss Karen Huger. Ain't it right, Marcella? Come on now. Let's get into it. Okay. Now we start things off with Wendy's slinky red light special. I want to interlude in the new. Okay, she was filming her little invitation to her new interlude party. Eddie doing the filming as a good husband is supposed to do. Okay, I love it because she says she's giving rich auntie vibes, and I'm here for it. You know what I love? I love when anybody is in on a joke about themselves. And if you can joke about yourself, that means you get it. And I talked yesterday about how I feel like Wendy just gets what being a housewife really means. Okay. But we're going to get into more of that later. And as the season goes on, okay, we get the introductory montage, Gizelle's West Wing. Is that just, is that just an add-on to the house? Is that correct? Or am I wrong? Okay. Anyway, Karen is feeding the plants. Juan and Robyn are building a new house. Congratulations. We love to see it. We love to see progress. Candiace Dillard got a brand new house. Congratulations. We love to see that as well. And Ashley's back with baby Dean. Okay. Michael comes home and she's 10 days away from giving the birth. She talks about not really knowing what fatherhood looked like until Michael, okay? Because, you know, her dad was not in the picture. But she gushes about how incredible Michael is as a father, okay? But she's a little insecure because what she's thinking is Michael gonna stray again, okay? You know, she's wondering because they ain't been able to make Whoopi, okay, do the oochie coochie in about 4 months. Because she is pregnant and she's just not in the mood. But they say that the sex during pregnancy is good for the pregnancy. Y'all let me know in the comments, okay? Now, I would be wondering if he was going stray too. Because he got a little passed on him, okay? He got a little passed on him. And sometimes he don't seem as trustworthy, but we know Ashley is a smart girl, so she has all her bases covered. Let him cheat if he want to, okay? She gonna come up off some of them millions, all right? Let me tell y'all something. Y'all be hating on Ashley, but Ashley got a plan, okay? Ashley has a plan. Meanwhile, over to Candiace's house, she has invited Gizelle over to see her new place. Now, to me, I'm going to just be honest with you guys. I feel like this is a friendship of convenience. I feel like it is a case of hopefully Candiace being smart enough to say, let me keep, okay, this woman close to my vest so I can know what she's doing at all points in time because she is very likely to turn on anybody at a moment's notice. And that's no shade on Gizelle in general. That is her role on the show. I don't know what she like in real life, but I'm talking about on the show. Her role is to stir up the mess, okay? Now, the other thing is, if I just bought a house and I ain't really furnished it yet, because I understand, I had the same issues, Candy Girl. It was hard to find furniture during the panorama, okay? Now, in my mind, when I want something, I want it now. I want it when I want it, okay? And when I want the couch, and you tell me it's gonna take 6 weeks to get here, okay? I'm putting up a ruckus because I want the couch now, okay? 9 weeks later, I'm getting the couch. So I understand, girl. But the last thing that I would do if I was still furnishing my place is invite Gizelle over so she could do her little critique behind the scenes and talk about you. And talk about what you ain't got yet, okay? That's what I would not have invited her over first, okay? That's just me. It seemed to me like she would have invited Wendy, okay? But According to the girls, Wendy lives so far away, it's a wonder they see her. Okay. Marie Michelle Gray says, in my Portia voice, she ain't loyal to you. She only loyal to the Robyn. Okay. When she want to be. When she ain't calling a hat line embezzled. Okay. Thank you, boo. Thank you for that super chat. Anyway, the stepkids are there. Now, the kids are there for a month. Now, in my mind, if I was Candiace, this is what I would do. I would be milking. I would be coaching. I would be all up on these kids. And I would be, because here's the thing. The kids add a different layer to Candiace and Chris's relationship. And I think that this is a good thing. And Marcella with the super chat says, what got me, Dorothy has a whole room, bathroom. Okay, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to it because she got a whole statue of herself in the room. Yeah. So in my mind, if I was a producer on the show, I would have been like, Candiace, listen, we're going to need some more real depth from you. And personally, I feel like, because I don't think Candiace wants kids yet. It don't sound like she wants kids, because I could have swore in her confessional with Chris, she said something about, or he said something about them wearing, or the producer asked about them still wearing the condoms during the Oochie Coochie. But y'all married. I don't understand that, but whatever. Okay. So if you don't want kids right now, because he got a couple of baby mamas, okay, which she does make reference to, then my thought is this is the next best thing and the next best way for you to take this moment as a growth opportunity and then show the world that you have what it takes to grow in this regard and then really be there for the kids. I want to see more of this because I feel like it softens her a lot, okay? And if she can continue to build that relationship, because it looks like she does still need to build the relationship with them, if they can get that together, I feel like she will really be on a path to growth. Now, we also know that she is getting her master's degree, so she's kind of busy, okay? Now, Gizelle, when she comes in, and I didn't like this, and I don't know why, I just didn't like it. When Gizelle comes into the house, she hands her coat on over to the little girl to go put up somewhere. This girl is not she's not your personal assistant. She is someone else's child. Why are you handing your coat to her to put up? I just, for some reason, that did not sit well with me. I don't know why. I just feel like it was not, I ain't like it. I didn't like it one bit, but that's just me, okay? And that's that. That girl is not there to work for you. She is there as a child, okay? And she's not your child. Would you like it if somebody came into your home and started ordering your kids? Put the coat away, girl. Here, take my coat. Put it somewhere. Thank you. I just didn't like it, okay? So there we have that. Now, Gizelle jokes in her confessional about Candiace being 48 and finally getting her own home. And see, this is what I'm talking about. This that stuff right here that I'm talking about. You know, had it been Wendy coming over for the first time, it definitely wouldn't have been that type of shade, at least in my opinion, okay? We found out that Candiace's mom has a life-size poster of herself in the guest room. I'm thinking to myself, why? But maybe if I had a life-size poster of myself, where would I keep it? I don't know. That's just kind of odd to me. Anyway, Gizelle wonders what Chris Bassett is doing. So I don't know if Gizelle was being facetious when she asked this question. Ask me in the chatterization, what did y'all think? Did y'all think she was being facetious when she asked that question? Because she was like, what is Chris doing now? Okay. And see, I can't tell if I just don't trust Gizelle in this space or if she was really being shady. That's my problem I'm going to be going through. I'm trying to look at Gizelle with a fresh lens, but I know her for her works on this show, okay? And I know she likes to stir up the juice, and I know she likes to be sarcastic about people behind the scenes in her confessionals, okay? Now, I don't know what Chris is doing, but what Candiace says is that I thought she said he's doing online cooking and playing a lot of golf, okay? Now, I don't know how much you make with online cooking, but I was thinking to myself, Chris should be catering. I mean, maybe he does that already. I don't know. He could be catering. He could be doing meal prep. The man can cook. It's always something in demand for some food. I'm always hungry, okay? I am always hungry. So it's people out there that would be paying a good amount of money for Chris to be doing meal prep type service. That would be something, because he could develop his own little delivery service or whatever like that, because people would pay for that. I sure would. Give it on to me. The better question is Jamal coming? But Candiace is ready to do Gizelle a favor in this regard and put this situation with Jamal on a silver platter so that Gizelle can actually explain to us what's happening. Now, I'll give Candiace kudos in this point at this moment right here, because she is doing Gizelle a solid by bringing this situation up in such a nice way. Okay. But in my mind, I feel like Candiace is doing this with a wink and a nod, because she knows, like the rest of us, that Jamal will not be in attendance. Okay. So what Gizelle does in this situation is very interesting to me. She really doesn't have many options for how to explain away Jamal, because a couple of things that we know. Jamal had said he would never come back to that show. Okay. He said he would never be back on this show. So how are you going to explain his absence moving forward if we are to believe that this storyline was true? Okay. So what Gizelle does is she says that, you know what? It's a pandemic and he's just so far away. We were only able to see each other once a month. Girl. Oh God. That was the case actually during the time that y'all were allegedly dating in the first place. And here's the thing. Around the time that this was starting to be filmed, it was starting to be maybe about January, February. So people were starting to get vaccinated. Now, this man was traveling to and fro, okay, up, down, and wherever else during the pandemic. So clearly travel wasn't that big of a deal for him, okay? Now, the other thing is Gizelle herself was traveling during the pandemic. She didn't have no problem running down to the ATL to attend Cynthia Bailey's wedding, whilst Jamal was actually not even there. And I believe he was actually up here, allegedly, at the hookah spot, okay? So for me, I'm not buying the excuse that it is because you are so many states away, because you knew that going into the situation, okay? I'm not buying it. It's cockamamie, and I believe Candiace knows it too. Candiace wonders if the public embarrassment is why Gizelle is taking a break, and we see a flashback of Monique and Karen double teaming Gizelle and tearing her up at the reunion, okay? Now, they get into a discussion of Karen and how Karen has disappointed Candiace. And I'm distracted by Candiace's confessionals look amazing. The confessional where she's in the black, she looks amazing. But I'm distracted by it's some yellow eyeliner or something going on there that was really taking me out of the element. And I was like, oh, whoa, what happened? Okay. The rest of the look, boom, killer. But the yellow line up there, I ain't understand it. But you know what? I'm not a makeup artist. I am not a beauty specialist. So who am I to say? I'm just giving y'all my opinion. We got a super chat from Charlotte Adams who says he doesn't want to be on Real Housewives of Potomac, but sure didn't have a problem filming with Married to Medicine. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, Charlotte. You better say it. Meanwhile, so they talk about how Karen disappointed Candiace. Juxtaposed in this scene is Karen having a discussion with Ray about giving Raven a piece of her wedding gown. They discuss calling the vow renewal so nice I had to do it twice. And then she shades Gizelle's man still living in the phone. And they talk about how Karen doesn't view Gizelle as a friend and that Gizelle is misdirecting her anger at her rather than directing it at Jamal, who she needs to direct it at. I think also Gizelle is not able to direct her anger at Monique, so she's going to have to direct that anger at Karen at this point. And Jamal is not around, so she can't direct it at him. Okay. Gizelle, meanwhile, is saying that Karen has been making up lies about her family. And all I was thinking was, what lies? What lies did Karen say at the reunion? She simply asked if Jamal was coming. She simply said what she had heard about Jamal. This man, while he is the father of her kids, is not her family, okay? Now, if they were still together, then yes, he would be considered family. He may be considered family in the extended sense, but the way Gizelle is making it sound is as though Karen was dragging her kids or something. And that did not happen. As though she was dragging her daddy or something like that. That did not happen. She was talking about the situation with Jamal, and that's that. But I feel like Gizelle is using that as justification to go after Karen this season. Okay. The Life of Ashley Hicks says, yes, it felt like they filmed the scene a few times. By the way, the little girl stood there. Gizelle treated the little girl and Chris like the help. Yes, that's what I didn't like about it. It was like, it was too much like, here, girl, take my coat. Chris, make me some food. I just didn't like it. Thank you for that super chat, boo. We got another one from Black Royalty 88 who says, Candiace's makeup in one of the confessional looks was giving me RuPaul Drag Race. Gizelle is mad that she can't confront Monique about the truth. Thank you, Black Royalty 88, for that super chat. Now, Gizelle says she's going to tell Karen's truth. She's going to expose the truth about Karen. And then Candiace says that there's a lot that can be said about Karen, and she wants a front row seat. Okay. The ladies suddenly get Wendy's striptease text invitation. And the way Ray is trying to get a hold to that phone to see that little striptease that Wendy was doing in that with that red, I forgot what the name of that challenge was. Type the name of the challenge down, in the chatterization if you guys can if you guys remember what the name of that red light challenge was, because I can't remember it to save my life. But Karen, Ray was trying to get that phone. Okay, Karen was like, no, you won't. You won't see it again. Okay, except when it airs. But we see Wendy then going to visit. What they put on the screen was the plastic surgeon for a checkup on her boobs. And I'm loving the energy that Wendy is giving. Now, in this scene, all I'm going to tell you is what we saw on the scene, okay? In this scene, the doctor was looking at her stomach. So in my mind, I was asking myself, oh, does she have a tummy tuck too? Now, this is a point of contention that we need to talk about, and it's going to be a running theme in this episode. The producer asked if there was anything else that Wendy has done. And she says that if she did get something else done, she would admit it. And she said this with a bit of a wink. Now, later on social media, I'm going to see if I can pull it up real quick. I think later on social media, she does admit to getting her boobs done and to getting her butt done. But she did not say it she did not mention the booty in the episode. She did later say that she got some tweaks. Here's my thing. I believe that women and men, whoever you are, you have the right to get whatever surgeries you want to get. You also have the right to tell people or not to tell people what surgeries and procedures you want to get. That is your personal business. However, if it becomes obvious, it's probably better to go ahead and admit it versus trying to downplay the fact that the question was asked. Meaning, if the producers zoom in on the doctor looking at your tummy area, and then they ask you what you had done, you probably should just go ahead and admit it. But it is your prerogative if you choose not to. I'm just saying, from the viewer perspective, we're going to be wondering, okay? Anyway, Robyn and Juan and Robyn gives me the most disappointing moment of the night. Okay, here it is. The producer asked Robyn when she and Juan are getting married. All I smell and hear are excuses. The pandemic, they're building a home, they got 2 kids in virtual school, it's a nightmare. And she says, one day we will have a wedding, and then she tosses her hair. Okay. Let me tell you why I was so disappointed in this, because in my mind, I think, and I have always thought this, is that Robyn fails to see and live in her own potential, okay? Which then makes her a secondary character, specifically secondary to Gizelle, who she seems to always place herself behind. Now, in this moment, when the producer asked her when she and Juan are getting married, what she should have done and said is this: you know what? It's a pandemic right now. So Juan and I have chosen to do something very small, and we want to do something in our own backyard or at our new home. There should have been some type of date. There should have been something to at least whet the people's appetite, because you just got engaged at the end of last season. So we are expecting some progress. But no, Robyn has made not a lick of progress. Okay. What we find is that Robyn is sleepy. Okay. Now she's either sleepy or there's another issue here that we need to talk about that I feel like could be a very potentially meaty subject if they choose to go there. And here's what I mean, because he gets on her about what she's feeding the kids. He also doesn't like the fact that most days she's waking up at 2 p.m. Okay. And he says it's unattractive. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Now, there's a lot to unpack here. Okay. She says that the pandemic is getting to her and she's stuck and she shuts down. Let me address this real quick first. Listen, the pandemic got to all of us. Okay. We all went through it, but somehow, some way, we all managed to make it through because we still got bills to pay. We still got to put food on the table. We still have got to make ends meet and make things work. So you are not absolved from that. Now, if you got the savings and the coin to just sit there and sleep until 2 p.m., fine, so be it. That's your prerogative if that's what you choose to do. But if your man is telling you that that's unattractive, girl, you need to fix it. And you need to wake up right now, okay? Like, I mean, wake up and set that alarm at 5:30 in the morning and get up and start doing something. Maybe then you could start working on those wedding plans, but you won't get it done waking up at 2 p.m., okay? Okay. Now, having said that, if her issue is more of a mental health issue, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because sometimes we can go through stages in our life of depression, and I am prone to severe anxiety, so I understand some of that. So what I would love to see is if that is the case, and I don't want to put that on her because I don't know, but I do want to be sensitive enough to say that maybe there is something there that she needs to explore, so that, and maybe that should happen in some type of therapy for herself. Okay. And I mean that with all sincerity, because I understand what that feeling is like when you feel like all you want to do is sleep. It's not a good sign. So either she is being extremely lazy or she is going through something for which she probably should seek some type of counseling. I think that's important. Bruce, thank God Juan Dixon is finally there. Okay. Thank God. Thank God. So I did want to state that, and I know we took a serious turn there, but I also want to be sensitive to something could be really going on that she needs to really work through. So she needs to figure that out. All right. Now, here's what bothered me, though. Apparently, the two of them have been talking about having another child. Specifically, Juan wants a daughter or two daughters. And all I got to say is, Robyn, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, Pam. Do not have another child with this man until he marries you. Now, ladies, let me say this. Y'all can feel free to have as many kids as you like. That is your prerogative. You can do what you want to do. But my advice to Robyn Dixon in this situation with that man is do not have another child by him until he put the ring on it. Okay. And I mean the wedding ring, the wedding band, until he stand in front of the audience and tell the world and you, I do. Do not have another child by this man until that happens. And until you figure out what it is that is going on with you on the inside that is causing you to sleep until 2 p.m. Don't do it, ma'am. Do not do it. All right? Don't do it. Whew. Anyway, back at Candiace's house, she's with Chris and the stepkids, Naya and Mateo. Okay. The producer asked, what do you think of, asked Chris and Candiace, what do you think of Chris and Candiace kids running around the house? And then the producer says, you can't use condoms if you want to get preggers. Candiace says, I don't trust the D. My mom says I will be your fourth baby mama. And wow, in my mind, and he has to correct her on being the fourth and on not being the fourth. And I was thinking to myself, ooh, that's a lot to unpack there. Why are y'all married and still using condoms? I don't understand that. I don't get it. It is Candiace's right to not want to have a child at this moment because maybe she feels like there are certain things in her life that she needs to accomplish before she does that. So she does have every right to do so. But the fact that she said, my mom says I would be your fourth baby mama. Okay. Why does it matter what Dorothy think? Why? Why does it matter? Y'all not living in her house no more. Why does it matter what Dorothy think? Dorothy's not married to Chris. You are. What do you think? That's what I want to know. What is your opinion on the subject? That's all. That's all I want to know. Okay. These are serious questions. These are serious questions to me. All right. And honestly, if you don't trust the D, you shouldn't be married. That's what I would say. So you in some way, shape, or form, trust the D. Okay. You got to trust it because you're married to him. But Miss Dorothy shouldn't have nothing to say about. Well, she can have whatever she want to say about it, but it shouldn't really matter to Candiace one way or another. To me, to be honest with you, I think when you get married, the highest opinion and the highest counsel that you should be receiving is probably from your spouse, if not the Lord. Okay. Anyway, so the ladies are getting ready for Wendy's event, and of course, why do the ladies always ask their kids what looks good? I mean, unless their kids are stylists, why are you asking them what they like? I mean, because to me, I feel like I don't really understand. Why would you ask that? That's like, I never get that. And they do it all the time on these shows. They always ask the kids, like the kids are stylists, like they know. I don't trust a little person's opinion. Oh no. I don't trust them. Not yet. I don't trust them yet. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying. As all the ladies are headed to Wendy's, we get the running gag about how far Wendy lives from Potomac. Okay. Based on the map, it looks far. Based on the map, it looks very far. You know what? Y'all might be right about the kids thing. Kids might be a little bit too honest with you. They might, okay, you know what? And I don't have kids. So I'm willing to concede on this one. Y'all might be right. They'll hurt your feelings. I feel like maybe that's why I wouldn't ask. Because them kids they would tear you down. They will tell you down something fierce. Okay. So maybe I'm in the wrong here on that one. Okay. Let me get some kids because I might be asking them too. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Miss Mac. Okay. I'm willing to concede on that one. I got y'all. See, this is what I'm saying. This is why I like to do these live because y'all be educating me sometimes. Sometimes I don't be knowing, and I readily admit that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, based on the map, it looks like Wendy lives in Alaska. Okay, that's the way they're making it seem. And Candiace has the runs, so she's not gonna make it to the event. Wendy is prepping for her party, and she has some cupcakes that she gives her kids that look like boobies, but they have no idea what they are. Bless their little hearts. Gizelle arrives first, and she jokes about how they live in a whole nother country, which is apparently up past Baltimore. Now, Robyn is shockingly not late. Okay. Gizelle says that Gizelle takes her to look at the name tags, and they notice Mia's name tag, and they don't know that B. Okay. And then we see Karen and Mia heading to Wendy's, and we get a little backstory on Mia and that she owns a successful franchise called the Joint Chiropractic Clinic. Now, I might need to try to find one of them chiropractic clinics because I need my back adjusted. Okay. I used to get my back and my neck adjusted all the time, but you can't just go to anybody to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I might need to look up this joint chiropractic so I can go ahead and get my back cracked. You know what I'm saying? My neck cracked. You know what I'm saying? Because it be helping. It just relieves a lot of tension in yourself. Okay. So far, I mean, from what I see, I like Mia. Mia seems to provide something fresh to the franchise that I didn't know that it needed. You already have a dynamic cast, but adding Mia to the mix, I like her. I like her. But here's a moment that disturbed me. Okay. We learned that Karen and Wendy were able to move past their issues via a brief flashback of a somewhat passive aggressive conversation with them clearing the air at like a lunch or a dinner. I am disappointed that this moment was downplayed, and let me tell you why. All throughout last season, we saw that Karen and Wendy had some sort of underlying beef, and I always felt like, is there something more here than meets the eye that we're not getting from the show about why they have a beef? And I know that they ended on somewhat of an okay note at the reunion. I just felt like, because there was such a big beef, we needed to see the resolve, and that we needed to see that whole conversation. You know, because I just feel like it when we have beefs on these shows, we need to see the conflict and we need to see the resolution to it. When you bypass the resolution, we, the audience, are left feeling a little cheated. And I felt cheated in this moment. And Wendy did throw some shade at Karen's way in that little meeting when she said that, you know, she just feels like they come from two different times. Okay. Meaning Karen is older than her. That is basically where she was going with that. But I would have enjoyed seeing that entire thing. Now, I get why they glossed over it, because I feel like the producers wanted to give the show a fresh start and they wanted to reset the table. But I think in doing so, we still missed a really good moment of seeing the two of them work through their issues and then turn the page in real time. Okay. That just bothered me. Shayna Martin says Gizelle needs to stop and get that West box and that horrible wig in order. Thank you for that super chat, Shayna. Okay. Anyway, I digress about Wendy and Karen. Ashley arrives and Wendy saunters down the stairs in her robe, and she announces that Candiace isn't coming. Robyn feels like Candiace just wants to avoid Karen from their issues from last season. Meanwhile, Karen is hoping for the best with Candiace and prepping Mia for meeting Gizelle and telling her how Gizelle hazes the new girls. Ashley is trying to get her her feet into some heels for the event, but it's just not happening. Girl, just walk around barefoot, because I mean, at the end of the day, everybody know you expecting, and you about to pop any day now. So it's like, girl, just be comfortable. We just glad you came. We glad you made it tonight, Ashley. Karen, Gizelle is asking Wendy about Mia and says that it's good that Karen Karen needs some friends in this situation. And I think it is very true. I think that Karen definitely needed an ally on her side, and she definitely needed someone fresh in this situation, since she wasn't going to have Monique at her side going into this new season. So I think that Mia was the perfect addition, especially for that reason as well. Karen arrives and introduces Mia to everyone. Gizelle is in her confessional talking about how Karen was talking about her and her family, and that she's upset that Karen paid her dust upon entering Wendy's house. Now, they immediately get into a discussion about Mia and her background, and we find out that she has 4 grandchildren and that she has an older husband who is 38 years older than her, and he is 68. So when Wendy asks, now, first things first, being from the South, I was always told that you never ask a woman her age. So to me, that was a faux pas on Wendy's part for asking the age. However, we are looking at this through the lens of it being a reality show. So I understand why Wendy did it. So when Wendy asks how old she is, Mia says she's 36. She's 36. They 38. Something about the math ain't adding up here. Something about that math ain't adding up here. But Robyn has figured it out. Okay. Robyn has figured it out. Robyn figures it out and she calls it out too. She says that math ain't right. Okay. She woke up that time. Okay. She's awake now. Mia has her first Phaedra moment of the season. I feel like everybody has a Phaedra moment every once in a while, but this is Mia's moment. But to Mia's credit, Mia's like, I may not be able to count that age right, but I count these coins, okay? I count these coins, these entrepreneurial coins. I got that right. Boom. Okay, how about that? Wendy goes on a diatribe about how she's starting fresh after being a new mom. And then the producer shade her monologue because it's going on and on and on. And Ashley has to get up during her speech. Okay. And then she finally introduces the group to her friends, Happy and Ness. Okay. She introduces her new boobs to the ladies. Robyn calls out Wendy for getting her butt done too, because she said that it was flat before. Robyn got a lot to say. She got a lot to say about a lot of things, okay? Wendy says, I only got some tweaks, okay? Again, it is a woman's right to not say that what she has had done or to say it if she wants to. I will give you that. But Wendy girl, if it's noticeable, the people gonna talk about it. Here we are with the new booty. The producers show it too. They show the flat boy, and then they show the popping boy, the new one, the new bad booty. The dude, and by bad I mean is looking good. Okay, so Wendy, what's going on, girl? What you get done? Okay, that's gonna come up again. You just wait a second. Hold on to that. It's gonna come up again. Karen wonders also if Wendy refreshed her face as well. Okay. Because Karen says it's good, and I want to know who that doctor is. So then, but Wendy's not budging. She is not giving any more details. So they get into Wendy's newfound confidence, and Mia asks, well, girl, what else you had done? Okay. Marcella says Wendy finally realized the dynamic Wendy is a social climber. She can't get through the door with the bandits and Candiace. She will hang with Karen to redeem that bad reputation. The new booty, yes. Thank you for the super chat, Marcella. Okay. So they get into Wendy's newfound confidence, and Mia asks what else she has had done. So this felt like a game of Uno right here. Okay. Mia asks what she's had done. Wendy says, well, what have you had done? Because it looks like you've had a lot of work done. Draw 4. Okay, so Mia hit the Uno reverse on her. Well, I've had this done, that done, that done, this done, 4 boobs, this done, coochie done, and everything done. Okay, now back to you, Uno reverse. Okay, I was like, ooh. Well, first of all, I was kind of like, now, Wendy, you ain't have to snap on her like that. You just invited this girl to your house, only to snap on her when she starts asking you questions about the work that you have apparently had done. Okay. So I was like, Uno reverse. I loved it. But you know what I like? I like this is the type of shade and sass that we want to see. It's lighthearted. It's funny. They giving it to each other. It just feels just so good. Slightly messy, but just fun. Okay. Anyway, sidebar. I think it is quite amazing that Mia is so open with the work that she has had done. And I think what that does is for a lot of people, y'all know I'm pro do what you want to do with yourself because you got one life to live. And I feel like you need to make yourself happy at every turn. And nobody else is gonna make you happy but you. So to me, I'm always a fan of when people are able to talk about those types of things, should they want to, right? So I dug that part of it because I feel like you putting it out there so nobody else can shame you for it, right? Anyway, Karen asks where Candiace is. Robyn stirs the pot by saying that Candiace doesn't want to be in Karen's presence. Karen is willing to give Candiace her space, but Ashley doesn't think that she herself will ever mesh with Candiace. Wendy hopes that everybody can get along. And that was Gizelle's cue to start what she thought was going to be her moment to light Karen up. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, there is nothing I love more than a Karen and a Gizelle fight, because these two ladies have history together. So they know each other. So they know how to push each other's buttons. And I absolutely love it. They are like the Alexis Carrington and the Dominique Devereaux of Potomac. And it gives me life every time they go to bat at one another. Okay? Now, Gizelle goes in and she says, well, we will not all never get along because you know I can't stand Karen, okay? And she's decided that she's going to tell Karen's truth, but she's not going to do it all right now. She's going to spread it out over time. And I was like, that kind of gave me chills a little bit. I was like, ooh, what you going to say? What you going to say? What is it going to be? Okay? So Karen tells her that she doesn't want it with her. Karen warns her with her, and then Karen says with her hot box, and that's why she can't keep a man. Now everyone around the table is, what is the fiery box? What is the hot box? What is it? Okay. Gizelle says she doesn't have a hot box. She has a WAP box, and Karen has a dry box. So she would rather have a WAP box than a dry box any day. So then Karen talks about Ray's ding dong not working. Karen says her man, Gizelle's man's ding dong is in everybody else. Gizelle says, at least it works. Gizelle, that won't the clap back that you thought it was going to be, mostly because if it don't work for you, then it ain't working on you. Okay? It's not working for you. Who cares if it's working for everybody else? That's your man, allegedly. Okay? So Karen calls her a broken hoe from Hampton University. Now, Karen said, what? No, why is Hampton being brought into this? Shout out to all my people from the HBCUs in the building, in the chatterization. Shout out to all my Hampton University alumni. You know what I'm saying? I got some good friends that graduated from Hampton University. So, you know, I did not go to a historically Black college or university. So I always kind of envy the experience that some of my friends had during that, you know, with that type of that lively, like, you know, it's just an experience that for me, the way it's described to me is indescribable. It seems magical. But dang, come on now, a broken hoe from Hampton. Ooh, I said, oh God, no. So then Karen says, you are a broken hoe from Hampton University, and that's why we went to the Sing Sing. I say, what is the Sing Sing? Correctional facility, okay? On Watch What Happens Live, she did correct that. She meant that it was a mental facility. That's what she was referring to, okay? So let me tell y'all something. Now, I want y'all to hear me and hear me good. When we talk about Real Housewives of Potomac and any show, especially as we move forward into this season, we're going to talk about the people that stir the pot. We're going to call them out. It ain't because we don't like them per se, but it's just because that's what they doing. We got to call it out, what they doing on the show. We're going to say it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no harm. It ain't no foul to any of them. That's just what it is. But that was this episode, and it was lit, y'all. It was too lit to me. Okay. It was too lit. Again, shout out to all my HBCUs in the building. Alumni, I should say. But listen, let me tell you something. Woo! Ooh, Erica says, now see, if Gizelle would have graduated from the best Howard University, she wouldn't have had a hot box. And I said what I said. You know? Hey, okay. Listen. And so here we are back at our first initial slide from BBF Bravo, episode 1 without context. Now we understand why we got the Dorothy poster here. We got the math equations for Mia and the age difference that Robyn called out. We got the hot box underneath Miss Dorothy. And then we got the Sing Sing Correctional Facility. Okay. Let me tell y'all something. This episode was everything. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a quick little 15, 20-minute break. And when I come back, we talking Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine. Let me tell y'all something. What in the gaslighting was going on? Okay. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. So hopefully you guys will stick around for the next one. Give me about 20 minutes. Just grab some water real quick and quench my palate and all that good stuff like that. And I will catch you guys in the next video.